Okay, so have you ever read like a self-help book or maybe binged a motivational podcast? You feel totally fired up for a day, maybe two, and then just nothing really changes. That feeling fades, right? And you're kind of back where you started, wondering, why isn't this stuff sticking? Today, we're diving deep into why those personal development efforts sometimes just fall flat. And more importantly, what are the actual steps you can take to make progress that lasts?
Welcome to a podcast inspired by the YouTube channel Climb Up Podcast, where we explore topics on personal growth and finding meaning in life. It's such a common feeling, isn't it? That frustration. Our mission here really is to get past that temporary high. We want to unpack the subtle reasons, the psychology behind why that spark often just fizzles out. And then, give you some solid, actionable ways to build real long-term growth.
Okay, let's get into it. Why do our best intentions often just disappear? Why does that amazing keynote inspiration vanish?
Well, one of the biggest hurdles is something called the knowledge-action gap. That's fascinating, actually. Our brains can get a little dopamine hit just from planning or learning something new. Psychologists sometimes talk about planning fallacy satisfaction.
Planning fallacy satisfaction. Okay.
Yeah, it means the planning itself feels so good, it can trick us into feeling like we've already achieved something, even before we've taken a single concrete step. Just knowing isn't doing.
I see. That makes sense. You feel productive just by reading. And related to that, there's the motivation trap, right? We get that big surge.
Exactly. That surge feels powerful, but, motivation is actually pretty unreliable long term. It goes up and down with our mood, our energy levels. Charles Duhigg talks about this in The Power of Habit. He stresses that real change isn't about waiting for motivation.
Okay, so if not motivation, then what?
It's about habits, building systems, creating habit loops, cue, routine, reward, that basically automate the behavior. You bypass the need for that fickle motivation.
Right. I've definitely felt that feeling of accomplishment just by buying the book. I've done something.
That's the illusion of progress playing tricks on you. Gabriel Ottingen explores this in Rethinking Positive Thinking. People get satisfaction from the idea of progress, planning, visualizing, learning. It feels like you're moving forward, but you're not actually taking action.
Okay, that's a big one. And then there's just the sheer amount of information, isn't there? It's easy to get overwhelmed.
Oh, absolutely. Cognitive overload. Trying to absorb tons of self-help stuff without actually stopping to process or apply it, it's like drinking from a fire hose. You just get swamped, retain very little, and it actually hinders your ability to focus deeply on any one thing. Quality really trumps quantity here.
Okay, so those are some pretty subtle traps. How do we actually avoid them? How do we get from knowing to,
doing the practical side? First off, setting clear, measurable goals is key. We're talking SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And James Clear's idea of atomic habits from Atomic Habits is fantastic here.
Atomic habits, the super small ones.
Exactly, ridiculously small to start. One push-up. Meditate for 1 minute. It makes starting so easy that you can't really say no, and that builds momentum.
That makes it feel much less daunting. Okay, so clear goals, tiny habits. What else?
Creating systems. Design your environment and schedule to support those goals. If you want to apply insights from a book, schedule 10 minutes every day to actually do it. Use an app, a checklist, whatever works. Clear also has the 2-minute rule. Commit to doing the first 2 minutes of any new habit. Read 1 page, put on your running shoes. It lowers that initial resistance.
Okay, so systems reduce the need for constant motivation. Makes sense. And bridging that gap, that knowledge-action gap we talked about.
Immediate application is crucial. Don't just learn it, do something with it right away if possible. Listen to something on time management. Immediately block out 30 minutes in your calendar for focused work. Think about Carol Dweck's work on mindset. Don't just agree you need a growth mindset. Reflect on a recent setback and actively identify one specific lesson you could apply next time.
So act on it fast. And what about that cognitive overload problem?
Be selective. Curate your intake. Maybe focus on just one book or one course at a time. Really dive deep into that one thing and focus on implementing it rather than just skimming the surface of 10 different things. It echoes Cal Newport's idea of deep work. Prioritize depth and quality over sheer volume.
Okay, focus. Apply immediately. What about staying consistent? It's easy to fall off track.
Accountability and feedback are huge. Tell someone your goal. Join a group, find a buddy, maybe even get a coach. Duhigg points out how groups like Alcoholics Anonymous use that community and shared commitment to make change stick. Sharing makes you more committed.
That makes sense, having someone else involved. And finally,
Self-reflection. Seriously underrated. Take some time each week, maybe Sunday evening, to actually think about what you learned and applied. Ask yourself, what went well? What challenges came up? What's the plan for next week? Odingen's Wu-Pei strategy is great for this. Wish, outcome, obstacle, plan. It helps you anticipate roadblocks and plan for them. So really the takeaway is this. Lasting personal development isn't about passively consuming information. It's an active process. It takes intention, it takes structure, consistent effort, building systems, applying what you learn immediately, reflecting. That's where sustained growth comes from, not just chasing that temporary buzz.
so here's something to think about. How might shifting just one small thing you learned this week, from just passively hearing it to actively doing something with it immediately, how might that change your growth journey? Give it a try.